Yeah.
Oh, we're rolling shit.
We're rolling, not in shit, but the shit is rolling.
The shit rolls downhill.
Welcome to Sad Dad's Club Podcast.
I'm Jim.
I'm the Foo.
We got a great show coming up for you.
Yeah, we're short the asshole production crew, but
that's okay. You know, holiday, right? I got to go to Tahoe. Whatever, bro. We got a fucking show to produce. Either you're showing up or you're not. I hate to fire you from your not paid job.
We'll see what happens when he comes back if he still has an unpaid job.
Yeah. We'll have to have a little sit-down chat with him.
Run a test. Like, while you were out on holiday, we did a show, put a show together. Did you watch it? The code word
Do you care?
Is filatus.
If you can't repeat that word, then we know you haven't listened.
Yeah, there you go.
In fact, all of you that are listening, I would like a tweet to us with the word filatus in
it. Hashtag filatus.
Yeah.
Or in the YouTube comment section when we post this.
Yeah, filatus.
Filatus if you got this far.
Yeah. Oh, God. That would be the worst. That would be the worst stats show ever.
Yeah. Just
you're getting 10 seconds of listen.
30 seconds in, then everything drops off.
Yeah.
You have to keep using code words or something because otherwise they...
You know, oddly, the asshole production crew not being here makes me want to do something special.
What's that?
Talk about where you can find us.
Oh, yeah. Right?
For all those new people that maybe just found the website or some
I'm looking
way.
around for disapproving...
There's no rolling eyes or
grunt or
grunts. Yeah.
There's nothing.
There's no comments of, just Google it.
You can find us on iHeartRadio, radio.com, YouTube,
Spotify, Google Play, Google Podcasts, or
Google
whatever.
Podcasts. I guess we should probably Apple Podcasts.
Yeah. And also, a Sad Dad's Club
podcast.net.
No, saddadsclub.net.
Yeah,
Let's get it straight, buddy.
Yeah. Or you can email us at
saddadsclubpodcast@gmail.com.
There you go.
That's a mouthful. That's what she said.
Yeah, nailed it.
Nailed it.
That's what he said.
Yeah. So anyway, that's where you can find us. And if you like the show, please share it around because it helps us.
Speaking of that, we had, our tweet, we had our biggest month for us yet.
Yeah.
So thank you if you're a listener or a brand new listener.
Yeah.
We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
We hope you're having a good time.
Yeah. So what's happening? Anything good?
God, so it's hot.
Oh, I literally, while you said that, I just felt a
stream,
a drip of sweat go down the backside into my butt crack.
Yeah.
And that's kind of disconcerting.
It's not as hot as it had to been.
No.
But it's hot.
Yeah, it's warm.
So over the weekend,
in the 90s something,
I did the first of what will be obviously the 2 times of taking Piper out to learn how to drive because
now,
wife has punted.
How old is she now?
She's 15.
Oh. Where's the time going?
Right. So she can apply for a permit somewhere near the end of the year. So the off-the-books practice driving tutorials have begun. So
so you're saying, off the books meaning in the car? Or without a permit, so we're driving out to a thing and doing it off the record. So you're showing her how to do donuts down at HP.
Right. Yes.
Right.
Yes. And that's an awesome place to do that, by the way,
because
they were actually repaving one of those parking lots, and there's a whole bunch of them that are disconnected from each other.
Yeah.
Which makes it, and not a lot of things.
There's like little roads with stop signs. It's sort of like mini town, right?
So we had sat. Venus had work Sunday, so the Sunday morning we spent a good hour in the Focus, just going over things.
So you're teaching her how to do
both
manual right out of the gate?
Yes.
That's good.
Although she didn't, that's not what she practiced. So she practiced in the Explorer, the automatic. But I went through manual transmission and all the nuances, and we did
I'm going to bring my daughter over and let her practice in your Focus.
Some fake shifting things, and it looked like she was having some struggles, so it was good. There was no car starting. It was all like this is how this works. This is, a lot of those things.
Well, the one of the things that's funny because my daughter, she didn't have any clue where anything was in the car on the dash.
Yeah.
Like, where's the blinker?
Yeah.
Really? Like this stuff, I just, for you and I,
Yeah.
or most probably anybody who drives, it's just second nature.
Right.
But she doesn't pay attention to what you're doing when you're driving her around.
Yeah.
And well, how do you turn on the headlights? What do you mean? How does it start?
Yeah.
Just the simplest little things. So when she first started driving with her permit,
that's funny.
When she first started driving with her permit, literally it was like from ground up. We had to teach her this stuff, so I totally get that.
Oh, yeah. So then it was a lot of just trying to convey a lot of my nuances with how I approach driving, which is probably different than Venus anyway.
And possibly other people.
Well, obviously. But I think in trying to go over some of the basics, I think I was probably a lot more nuanced. And a lot of these things are important, but they may not seem that way, and they're not going to be in the instruction manual for your license.
Yeah. We're getting buzzed right now.
There was a lot of talking and not a lot of until we started fooling around with the clutch itself.
Yeah.
And then we went over to HP when Venus got back. We took the Explorer over to HP. There was a lot of
oh yeah.
But a lot of the things that we covered, I said things will change. You can understand some of the fundamental parts of the car, but in any given car, there will be obvious nuances that you won't know until you get in them.
Yeah.
Brake feel, accelerator feel,
yep.
How the car handles in general, and then what you feel as far as inputs throughout the car. All of those things, the clutch, all of those things differ from car to car, and a lot of times even within the same manufacturer, car to car. So it's just something that you either adapt to, and you need to keep your mind open as to how this, as opposed to, well, I press the pedal with this kind of force in all cars, and all of a sudden you're right.
Yeah.
So we got over there, and there was a couple whiplash moments, but generally speaking, it went well.
Yeah.
I thought it went well. She came back, and because I didn't tell her specifically, you did good, but It was all positive. She's like, Dad didn't think I did. You did fine. You did totally fine.
I never said that.
There were a couple of things where I caught her off guard because I stood outside of the car on a lot of it after I went over a bunch of stuff and just said, now do this and park over here, do that, these couple tasks. And then I said, okay, now I want you to go down here about 50 yards or so. I want you to turn around. I want you to square up the wheels, and I want you to press the accelerator. And I want you to gun it.
Did you get the...
Yeah. She's like,
why?
And I said, because if you don't know what this car feels like when it's being kicked in the tooth, how are you going to be aware? What are you going to know? So I will be here. I will be watching. If you hit me, well, we got problems, but gun it. And then I want you to slow down gradually and come to a stop.
Gun it, then lock them up.
Right. It was because if you're not going to cover that part, how do you know?
Yeah.
Right. So I want to see the whites of your eyes as this is the kind of power that this thing has. And we work from there. Now you have a respect for what happens if your foot slips off the brake and you press that pedal. You have a relative gauge as to what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay. You did it. We're all alive. We all made it. So I bought cones.
Nice.
Because it was a little bit hard because some of the paint, the lines
were faded out.
Were pretty faded.
Yeah.
And I ended up grabbing there were some like trash, garbage can lids that were laying around. So I grabbed a couple of those and set them. I'm like, okay, I want you to go around this, come around this, square up, and then park in this slot. Mm-hmm. I want you to back up all the way over to here. I don't want you to use the camera this time because the camera is cheating.
Yeah.
And she did that too. But it was a little bit hard to try and get to point out, park in this when the lines were faded. So, yeah, Daddy bought cones.
Nice.
So,
well, Melanie took her driving test last Friday.
Yeah.
And passed her test finally. But
good for her.
Leading up to that, we had a couple of weeks of lots of her driving.
Yeah.
And then she had some pretty serious concerns about being able to park. I don't understand how to park.
Okay.
And she could never get the car straight into a spot and all this kind of stuff. So one night we went out to Boljan right near the house. Mm-hmm. And the parking lot was empty, and I just told her, okay, this is how I'm going to approach this. And just showed her the mechanics of how everything worked and look the car straight in the spot.
Right.
And she just kept emulating that, and we just kept practicing over and over.
Right.
And then it was like no big deal. But prior to that, it was like a very much a point of contention with her because I don't know how to park. And it's like, I kept telling her, you kind of have to have a feel for the car. You have to kind of be one with the car. I don't know how to express that to you, but you have to feel the car. You have to be able to tell where the edges of the car are.
Right.
You have to be able to tell where the wheels are. And that's a feel thing.
Right.
And that comes with experience.
Right.
Now, I'm going to show you how I would do this, but I'm going to tell you, you need to learn this feel.
Right.
And she ended up picking it up, and now she's doing great.
It was one of the things that I don't know if this was taught to me, but me being me, when I was starting to learn to drive, way out on McCourtney and whatnot, we only had manuals. So for me, when I was getting ready to start driving the manuals, I was over-obsessed with the concept of what the gears meant relative to the speed.
Right.
So I was like, so like at 11 miles per hour, am I supposed to go from like first to second? And that's and second is from 11 to 20,
right,
20 something miles. Like I was obsessed with how does that translate? What do the gears translate to speed?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
So when I was describing that to Piper, I said, your biggest, and I said, throw that out. There's nothing that correlates gear to speed. That's not important. I said, you should always be knowing what speed you're at, and taking information from the dash is obviously important. You want to be going within the speed limit relative. But I said, the most important key to understanding what gear you need to be in come from two things. One is the feel that you get from the accelerator, the feedback from the engine that you can feel the RPMs at, and the steering wheel. All of those things are going to vibrate to a point to where you'll understand where the engine is at. And the second one is the tachometer, right? Those things, the needle and how fast the engine is moving relative to RPM and the feel will tell you which gear should I be in. And that's the only thing that's important relative to.
Yeah. Now, does the Focus have a shift light that comes on?
Yes.
When it's like probably an efficiency thing.
Yes.
So it'll tell you when to.
Yes.
When it's more efficient
optimal
to shift.
For gas mileage efficiency. Sure. Yes, it has one of those. You can. Yes.
So you could. I mean, in theory, rely on that to a certain extent.
Right. But my lesson was, a lot of it was, here I'm going to tell you a lot of these things, but the thing that you'll take from car to car, regardless if it's a 1960-something, a 70-something, 80-something, or a brand new thing that will do all of those widgets and prompt you if it's new, if you always look back and reference feel and the tachometer, you won't go wrong. It'll always tell you. You'll always have enough information to make
sensory feedback.
Right.
Yep. Of the engine noise or the feel of the motor and all that stuff. Yep. All that stuff's super important.
Yeah. So there's a lot of the same stuff. The feel, I think, a lot of that too is just understanding that it's not. I said, you got to have an outlook that it's not that thing that gets you to, I'm using this to get to the party.
Yeah.
Or the library or whatever destination. I said, get in it.
Drinking party.
Yeah, get in it and look at it as an extension of you.
Yeah.
Once you get in here, you need to have a very intimate understanding of how this thing works, because it's either one of the greatest utilities you'll ever come to know, or it's a weapon, right? It'll hurt somebody or you or something if you don't have respect for it and have an understanding. I said, all those things you need to be aware of at every given moment as soon as you get inside that driver's seat.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I scared her, but that was the point that I was trying to. I said, and I don't see enough. I think a lot of that was part of the disparity I saw when we went over to the UK. It was like, I get a feeling that there are more people over here that work from that base of understanding on how to drive a car versus over here, where it's like a privilege.
Yeah.
Or a right, not a privilege.
Yeah.
Like, well, I'm expected to be able to have this because I'm 16 now and I'm allowed to drive a car and I should have a car. It's like, what? No. You need to earn this and you need to have respect for what because sad dad.
Well, that's part of like my daughter's trepidation towards driving was how much responsibility it was, and when she was 16, she just wasn't ready. It was too much.
Yeah.
And so she, her getting her license at 18, I think really made a difference. Plus she was away at school, so it's not like she had opportunity even to practice while she was away. But I think she's probably better off having gotten her license now as opposed to when she was younger.
Right.
Just because some kids weren't ready, and I think she knew that she wasn't ready, which is interesting.
I think in defense of that too, I think obviously she's more mature and has more focus.
Yeah.
Now it's less of, well, I have an expectation as opposed to she has a need.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Right. So, I need to get my driver's license because this is the thing that I do at this age, and this is just something that we do.
Mm-hmm.
It's part of the path kind of thing versus, why put any effort into this because I don't need it right now. Now she's 18.
Yeah.
Now she needs it. Now she has a focus. Like, I have to get these lessons in. I have to understand.
She's been in the mode of working, doing a lot of babysitting and stuff like that, and being up for her. It's important. It's been important for her to be able to try and do it on her own and not have to rely on mom or dad for a ride.
Right.
Or inconvenience mom or dad to borrow a car so that they don't have a car at home. And I'm like explaining to her, that's just how it is.
Yeah.
Chandler didn't have a car. He was borrowing a car. There were points when he would take the car and we had one car at home. It's not like it was a problem.
Right.
You just do what you do.
Right.
But she's doing pretty good, and it's kind of fun to watch that confidence in her grow. Because it was a little rough for her. She wasn't, when she started out, she really had no clue. I mean, honestly, to watching that transformation between when she started and where she's at now, I mean, they're like night and day.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive. But she nailed her test. It was kind of fun.
Well, good for her. It was a driving one and the written, or did she already pass I can't remember if you have to do those.
I think it was just the driving test.
Was it?
I think the written part of it was for the permit, I want to say, and then the driving test.
So she was just waiting on the driving part?
Yeah.
As far as a...
Yeah. Well, and then you have to take lessons and stuff, and she had finished her last lesson. I don't even know if she had to as an 18-year-old. I don't think she had to have lessons. But we had paid for them, so she had one left, so she did that. But yeah, kind of fun to watch that
the growth there.
Yeah.
Did you
really
teach Chandler too?
Yeah. We
Or did Shan?
Well,
teach
it
him
was
and then-
it was kind of a combo of
Was
us. Yeah. Melanie, for me, Chandler was like born to drive. That dude came out of the womb waiting for his keys. So for him, it was second nature. But one of the things with someone like Chandler who was ready to drive is that, he wants to drive crazy, right? So it's like, you got to sort of kind of squash that. You have to take a test, buddy, and pass
Right.
the test according to how they want you to drive, not necessarily the way you want to drive. So there's a big discrepancy there. And he sort of scared me a little bit. Melanie was different in the sense that the mechanics for her were a struggle at first. I remember there was one time we were doing a right turn. Here in Roseville we have protected right turns. So she was rounding a corner and she got, it must have been less than an inch away from running wheels across the curb.
Yeah.
And I'm literally reaching over and pulling the wheel away so that we're coming away from the curb.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it would have been Road Rash City or something else.
Right.
So we had a couple of those incidences, and in fact, one time she actually did go up on the curb. This was very early in her driving. So you see the sort of this transformation.
Yeah.
And she's not doing that now, so it's much better. She's definitely has a better feel for what's going on.
Yeah.
Now, would I put her in a car that was a manual? Oh no. She's not ready for that at all. I think she needs to build up her confidence in a automatic. And then maybe
you guys don't have a manual
other than Chandler's car.
Oh yeah.
I mean and then that would be scary because you want her burning up his clutch or some shit like that, right? So,
right.
We had when I was a kid, we had a little Dodge Ram pickup, one of the small ones.
Yeah.
4-speed. And I learned mostly how to drive stick in that. Now, my concern was the clutch. How do you know how much gas to give and how much clutch to give, right?
Right.
That was the one that really, and I didn't. The way I kind of learned it was we ended up going to a hill and sitting on a hill, and then my mom would be like, "Okay, so hold the car in place with the clutch. Don't let it go backwards or forwards. Just hold it there."
Oh.
So then you get a feel for where the clutch is going to grab, how much gas to give it, and you can play with it on a hill.
Right.
And that really was like, oh, okay, there's a definite place where it starts to grab and how much gas you need. You definitely have a feel for all that stuff, which was, it never really clicked until that.
Huh.
So
we had, speaking of clutches and pieces of shit, when we were over in the UK,
I have a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But it's automatic.
We had, we had a Renault Kadjar, and it was like a small SUV, a little bit bigger than a CRV.
A French piece of mastery.
It had a clutch that had some sort of fucking bullshit assist thing in there, so that define help, I guess, would be a very loose.
It quote helped
you. You could just short of let off the clutch, and it would. Oh, here, let me help you with that. And
really?
it would like hydraulically massage the mesh point, so that
weird.
You wouldn't or couldn't stall it. Getting in that after Mike had been driving it for the first time, and Mike's like, "This clutch is bullshit."
Oh my god!
And I can't believe it's doing it. Like, why would you want this? Like in your it's like handicapping the expected feel of the clutch. And
so it's a motion. It's just you're going through the motion now,
right? So you're just doing.
You're not doing it for a feel. You're doing it for just.
And the pedal would like hydraulically delay. Like you would press the clutch in and let your foot off, and the pedal would it would dink like catch up
that's
to your.
weird.
You would leave the pedal, and then it would bottom out on your foot. A split. I mean, it wasn't like, we're not talking seconds, but it was enough to where
it wouldn't retract as fast as your foot could.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so there was this jarring feeling of, I know where the mesh point is. I don't need any help. And this thing was always on. And
you couldn't turn it off.
If we were in a roundabout or we were coming around a corner,
no.
and either one of us would have to like get on the sauce, and you want to like quick shift.
No,
it was like, let me help you out with that one.
Maybe just because the French are like, terrible drivers.
Good God, give it to me! Give me all the gears and the power. What is this bullshit?
Oh my God!
Terrible.
Nice.
Terrible car. Renault Kadjar. Go fuck yourself.
The
whole thing.
Nice.
God. We looked... just a terrible fucking
You're like,
feeling.
take it back and be like, can you guys give me another car?
Honestly. God, what a terrible fucking car that was. We kept... Hashtag thanks Nissan, because the Kadjar, or not Kadjar, Qashqai Rogue. That was an awesome car.
Okay.
In a diesel format only. Anyway.
That's weird to have a diesel in that small of a car.
It was awesome. You wouldn't have known.
Huh.
It had all the power we wanted. Internal cabin noise was like, it's a normal car.
Huh.
You would not have known. Huh. Right until you went to go get gas and you realized you were getting 70-something miles to the gallon.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hashtag thanks, Nissan.
Interesting.
Unless you're a Titan. Ooh.
Oh.
Sorry, Mike. I love you, Mike.
Wow, that's brutal.
It's hardcore.
How many miles to the gallon does the Titan get, do you think, when it's broken in the shop?
Yeah. God. Well, he knows, though.
Right.
Yeah, he knows.
We'll let him answer that.
Yeah, he'd be like, fuck you guys. But he knows.
We'll get some feedback.
We'll get the heat.
Yeah. Anyway.
Tweet us your feedback, Mike.
Absolutely.
Anyway, so that was what I spent the bulk of my weekend on.
That's cool.
What'd you do?
Well, like I said, one of the things that was kind of a priority for us was Melly being able to go to school and have a car down there because she's moving out of the dorm. She'll be living in an apartment.
Right.
So it's kind of important. So we had decided, let's look for cars for Melly.
Right.
And we figured on a budget of about $5,000 for that.
Right. I think we had, thought we had loosely talked about this. I can't remember which episode, but yes.
Yeah. And so we started looking at cars. And so Chandler and I started going out and looking at some of these cars that we'd find.
Right.
And oh my God, the state of $5,000 cars
right.
is really fucking rough.
Yeah.
It has to be the right car. And for instance, we found it was a Beetle. Melly was really interested in Beetles.
So the newer one.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not
And
the 60s, 70s Super Beetle shit.
One of the new ones. So we went and looked at it. I don't remember what year it was. Probably like a 06 or 7 or something like that.
Okay.
The thing had been in an accident, number one. Number two, there was oil dripping off the bottom of the motor. And when you drove it, that oil burned so you could smell it, which was really nice.
Oh, good God.
The dashboard was scratched to shit. I don't know what this person that had this car prior was doing. Maybe they put a cat on the goddamn thing and it just and
right.
like scratch. I don't know, man.
Right.
That the whole and they got really long dashboards in the Beetle. I don't know if you've ever noticed.
No.
They got really long dashboards. The whole thing just scratched to shit. All the door handles were just messed up. The car was in a just wreck kind of situation. The passenger door wouldn't open from the inside. Yeah.
Oh, sounds
I mean, yeah. And then I'm like talking to the guy at the dealer, and I'm like, number one, it leaks oil. And he's like, oh, no. And I'm like, no, yeah, it's leaking fucking oil. The whole motor's covered in oil. Oh, it's been sitting for a month. There's no way. And he goes and runs over to look at the oil puddle that's underneath the fucking motor that was there. And and I'm just like, dude, come on, right? So, and while we were driving it, the transmission was slipping like crazy.
Oh shit! No.
And I'm just like, for fuck's sake. And then we just started talking about like, okay, I have needed a car for a while.
Right.
So why don't I buy a car? And then the Civic that I've been driving,
Right.
that we know everything about because we bought it new, and the things that are wrong with it we'll fix, and
right.
we'll give that to Melanie, and we'll just pass it down.
Right.
So that became the mantra. We're now looking for a car for Daddy-O.
Nice.
So the first thing we ended up driving was I don't remember what year it was. 2012 maybe, Golf R.
Oh shit!
And I love that car.
You were close, weren't you?
Well, it was.
Were these dealer or private?
This was
sales?
at a dealer.
Okay.
We found it at a dealer down on Fulton.
Okay.
And it was a pretty car. It was like a really beautiful pearl white.
Yeah.
The first thing out of the gate, the bumper doesn't match the paint of the rest of the car.
Uh-oh.
And it's like, that's fucked up. Why is the bumper different?
Right.
You know, we test drove it, and it ran like a bat out of hell. It was fast as fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. I really liked that car.
Yeah.
But the bumper didn't match the rest of the car.
Okay.
That's a problem for me.
Yeah.
That's a big fucking problem.
Yeah.
It had it had more miles than I really cared to
Okay.
buy into.
Okay.
And so
Golf R.
yeah, so we left that.
Scratch that one
kind of
off.
scratched it. I really thought about that. Was like, nah, that's not for me. That's not the right one. If I find another one, maybe.
Maybe.
Okay. So that kind of happened last week, and then over the weekend it became, hey, Dad, Chandler. And Melanie doesn't know this is going on because she's going to get the Civic, and we're going to make it a surprise.
Right.
She doesn't know she's getting a car, basically.
Right.
So it became Saturday over the weekend, and I'm getting messages from Chandler. Are we going out looking at cars? And I'm like, I don't know what's going on. And then he starts sending me text messages with cars.
Car links.
Car links. One of the first ones he sends me is the 2016 Cadillac
ATS.
ATS.
Okay.
And one of my first rules was no American cars, no sedans.
Okay.
Right, that was the other one.
Okay.
And and I was like, wow, that is a pretty car. That Cadillac. So I kept that one in the back of my mind, didn't really reply too much about that. Now Chandler has a buddy who works at CarMax.
Okay.
So we made an appointment. Yeah, we're going to go car shopping. Come on over and we'll go.
Okay.
We made an appointment with Dylan at CarMax, and which means we can pretty much do whatever we want with test drives and shit.
Right.
So we go to the lot, and on the lot is this 2015 Audi A4 S-Line Quattro with 19-inch rims that are to die for.
Okay.
And I am like, oh my God, this car.
Yeah.
So we test drive that. And Dylan's like, yeah, drive it home, right? You want Shannon to look at it? Drive it home. So we're like checking with her. Is Melanie, is she around? Oh, no, they're gone. Come by. So we take this, and it's sort of like this pearl gray color that I don't see very often.
Yeah.
And so we drive it home, and Shan really likes Audi. She's like, oh, man. So we took her for a drive.
Okay.
Took it back to CarMax. I put that car on hold.
Okay.
And we walk around the rest of the lot. We look at a bunch of stuff. Nothing catches my eye, really. Don't care to drive anything else.
Right. Why don't you go all-wheel drive, baby?
Oh, that car was impressive.
Okay.
So I say to Chandler, hey, call that guy with the Cadillac, and let's go down and look at it, make sure it's still there. Okay. So he calls, and we drive down there. And the guy has pulled it out and parked it out.
Oh wow, he's milking it, milking the deal. He's ready.
He was ready for us. And we walk out, and I'm like, oh shit, that thing is badass.
Yeah.
And he says, give me your license, so you can test drive it. Keys are in it. Check it out. When you're ready to drive it, just honk at the gate. I'll let you out. Okay. Took it for
there
a
you go.
spin. Was like, this thing is fucking nuts.
Yeah.
And Chandler drove it back. We got it back to the lot. We're looking at it, and I'm just like, okay, let's look at what else he's got on the lot. We looked at some other stuff. Came back to the Cadillac, and I'm just like, that fucker is gangster.
Yeah.
2016 ATS, only 34,000 miles.
God, it's really good.
Clean as shit. And I'm like, we stared at it for like an hour.
Yeah.
And finally I just said to the dude, okay, what do we need to do?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And I bought that motherfucker. That's the nicest car I've ever owned.
It's hot.
To be honest with
It's hot. Yeah. So you
you. I just got to turn around and admire it.
yes. So and here's how I got introduced to it. So we went out grocery shopping on Sunday.
Yeah.
And we're at Rayleigh's, and we get a text from the kids. Chandler's here. We don't know why. We didn't answer the door.
What do they think? He's going to bust in and rob the place?
And I'm like, and Venus goes, was Chandler supposed to stop by? And I go, did he have a memory? I don't know. Did he drop off something? Well, we'll be back. I didn't have any phones on me.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what was going on, so I couldn't text.
That explains the no replies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we got back to the house. There was no one here.
Yeah.
And
we had just left. I mean,
we must have missed you by 30 seconds
Yeah.
to a minute and a half at best.
Yeah.
So we're loading up the groceries. I checked the chest for like a memory card. I'm like, there's nothing in here.
what the fuck was he here for?
What was he here for?
Yeah.
So I walked back to the office. I go in the computer. And there was like a couple messages from you. Are you home? I'm like, well, fucking no, but I am now.
Yeah.
Okay, coming back.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right. So I go into the kitchen and I start making the fucking fruity foo spritzer drink.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm going to hit these guys with this. And so I'm in the garage, and you come. I can't hear you, first off, but I can see. And I see you in the driver's seat, like, and Data's like,
that's right.
and it's hotness. It's
Yeah.
like fucking Men in Black shit.
Yeah.
It's awesome, and it looks cherry.
It's a dark gray metallic with black wheels
yeah,
and
yes.
blacked out windows.
Yes. You got out of the car, and you were like giddy as a schoolgirl, and Chandler got out of the car, and then I'm like, is it yours? Yeah.
I know.
It was like the Jonah Hill GIF meme.
We laughed about that afterwards because that was some funny shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been really exciting. It's like,
We're like a bunch of three little kids
know.
in the driveway.
Yeah, so that's fun stuff. So I got me a sweet rig over the weekend, and I'm happy about that.
Did you get the sidewall?
Friday.
Yeah. Is it a new tire?
They're
or
gonna
just
replace it.
Are they?
Yeah.
The dealer, or you're just going
The
to get
dealer's
it?
going to replace it.
Awesome.
Yeah. Oh, that place.
How awesome. Boy, you don't see that much. Someone willing to take.
No, they've been great. That guy, the first of all, the sales guy, I think his name was Jag. Outlet for Cars,
Okay.
I think is the name of the dealer. The guy's name is Jag. Man, that guy, he let the car sell it. He didn't even hardly talk to us. I mean, unless I had questions for him, he would answer and say whatever.
Wow.
But I mean, it was impressive. He did not. He just hung out, let us fucking. I mean, we went over that thing with a fine-tooth comb. I mean,
That is so crazy because
He
I was
did not-
just rolling over. I was changing SIM cards on my Google Fi phone, and it pulled up on the new phone. It pulled up like all of my Google Fi voicemail messages, and I had 15 plus voicemail messages from the one form I filled out for the Focus. Like, do you have any Ford Focuses on the lot with all of these options on there? And I explicitly remember using my Google Fi number
on purpose
because just in case this gets out of hand, I don't want them calling that. I want to be able to like screen calls or just send them straight. I didn't want them to have my daily driver number.
Yeah.
And sure as shit, that's exactly what happened. The internet-based sales option still net me the same exact output as if I had gone on the lot.
except you're able to blast you're able to blast a bunch of dealers and then get a ton of calls.
Right. I got,
yeah,
and I clicked all, I just want, you send it to me
Yeah.
digitally. Send me an email thing.
Yeah.
Send me whatever, a link to look at, or send me your proposal.
Right.
Don't call me.
Right.
Check boxes. Do you want to be notified or called? No.
yeah,
No.
yeah. Email me.
Still, I had 20 fucking voicemail messages. I'm like, what is the point of this
Yeah.
whole internet engagement model?
Oh, I was
when you still fucking call me.
Oh, the guy with the RS at that dealer on Fulton. I mean, he called me 3 times.
The Golf R?
Yeah, he called
yeah.
me 3 times and then texted me a whole bunch. I want to earn your business. It's like I told you, bro, that's not the car for me, and I'm moving on. And then he sent me. So I told him I wasn't going to buy the Golf R. Then he sent me links to 2 other Golfs, not even Golf Rs, just Golfs that were on the lot. I'm like, bro, if I'm not going to buy a Golf R, I'm not going to buy a fucking Golf.
Yeah.
Right? So that was, and finally he just gave up. But I think he's all commission or something. I don't think he gets paid by the hour at all.
No.
But yeah, that was an experience. And then we were out of there. It only took us 15 minutes to sign the paperwork and we were gone.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how quick it was.
Yeah. And that's what, and in the end, wow. I caught
Whoa.
it. In the end, that's how I bought the Focus. I went straight to Mark
Yeah.
at Folsom
Yeah.
because I was just tired of even when I had an option to supposedly do it the way I wanted.
Yeah.
I still got the
lashback.
stereotypical hassle of
Yes.
buying the car.
Yeah.
And then it was like, Mark, just can we I'm going to buy the car.
Yeah.
You have it. Can we just nail it down without me having to deal with the rest of this garbage?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now,
on
on the other hand, when we bought our CRV, we did the internet thing where I did kind of the blastogram.
right.
And that was awesome because I got a bunch of offers. Right, here's what you want, and here's the price.
Right.
We did get one phone call. That was the call that ended up selling the car to us because they were the cheapest price. Literally, we were at the auto mall, rounding the thing to go to Honda, and they called and said, "We'll give it to you for this price," which was the cheapest price yet. We're like, "Okay, we're coming down."
Freak.
Yeah, but I had email offers coming in from different dealers all over the place.
Right.
That was really cool. And the price was below what we expected. So I couldn't complain about that.
Right.
But man, this place, the guy, he was just really nice. The place was really clean. It was almost like a little mini CarMax kind of place.
Yeah.
And so shout out to those guys. They did awesome. And
Well, they sold the car.
yeah, they sold
I
the
can
car.
appreciate,
Yeah.
because you can't be, as a salesman and a human, you can't be ignorant that there's a stigma with how people read the car salesman, right?
yeah, right.
So to come at it from I know you're here to hopefully buy a car. My
Take
ability,
your time.
my ability to put food on the table is directly related to whether or not I'll sell the car. If the car's not going to sell itself, I'm not going to sit here and try and beat you with a
Right. Yeah. Or give you the tough sale and say,
Right.
what do I got to do?
Yeah.
I mean, how
Right.
you want to buy it or
You're going
not?
to walk away, and then I'm going to get no sale.
Yeah.
I'm going to be human to
Well,
you, and
I mean,
hopefully you'll buy the car if you can. If it meets your
no
needs.
complaints from them, really. So far with the tire thing, it has the passenger front tire has a bulge in the sidewall, and oh yeah, no problem. The GM got back to me, and so we're gonna get that taken care of on Friday.
Cool.
Yeah, so no big deal. So yeah, I'm happy as a clam, man. It's a beautiful car. It's clean as shit. The interior's like brand new. Open the hood. Did I show you that? It looks like it just came off the showroom floor. That's how clean it is.
Was there
under the
any
hood.
history, like who pre-owned it and why it had so many less miles?
I don't know. I mean,
it
other than
looks cherry.
yeah, it's very clean.
It looks brand new.
There's a couple dings in it and that
shit
kind of thing,
happens.
but I mean, it's also a used car.
Yeah.
And I bought an extended warranty, so I'm covered.
Yeah.
So whatever. I'm happy with it.
Happy.
It's fast as shit.
As someone that has known
oh my
that you were
gosh.
looking for something new
or considering
yourself,
things for a long
to
time.
then see you drive up with the biggest fucking
Yeah.
kid in a playground grin on your face as you pulled up, and you're like, I got a Cadillac.
Dude, I'll tell you what. If you would have told me 5 years ago, yeah, if you would have told me a month ago you're going to drive a Cadillac, I would have said, dude, you are full of shit. I don't know what you're talking about. Because first of all, I've been a Honda guy forever.
Yeah.
I love Hondas. But this car just won me.
Yeah.
And in fact, my little brother was giving me a hard time. He's like, why'd you buy a Cadillac? Shout out to Scott. Why you buy a Cadillac? And I'm like, and he's all Honda man, you know? And I'm like, dude, I didn't go looking for a Cadillac. The Cadillac went looking for me.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
There you go.
And he's all, shut the fuck up. And I said, okay.
You know,
anyway.
It's cheesy. But if you go back to the one Transformers where Bernie Mac is talking to Shia LaBeouf, and he's like, Mando picked a car. Car picks a man.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
As cheeseball as that sounds,
Yeah.
if you are following my ethos on what it's like to drive a car, that is very much true.
Yeah.
You know, when you base your driving experience and your skill set off of feel, it's very important that when you get in the vehicle, you have that feeling.
Yeah.
Like this is, I
got in the car and it was just one of these things where I'm just like, oh shit.
Yeah.
This thing?
Yeah.
For real? Like, this is in my budget? Really? I mean, that's a $43,000 car brand new. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah. That's amazing.
It's nice.
And it looks like it's brand new.
It does.
So, no complaints out of me, so I'm happy as a clam. I'm set. I'm good. I'm happy.
So how are you going to handle the repair? How long do you have to repair the Civic before Melly ships off? Or did that already get divulged to her? Does she know?
Yeah, we told her there's things on it that
Daddy
we know
has
are
a caddy.
broken. Yeah, well, we told her the whole situation.
Yeah.
I mean, no reason to pull punches on her.
Yeah.
She knows the situation. She knows that there's work that needs to be done.
Right.
So we're gonna try and cover some of the major stuff, like get the heater core fixed.
Right.
Have somebody do it, because I don't know that I could pull the whole dash out myself and put it back together and have it be the way it's supposed to be.
I think it's different when you were probably playing on it when it's you driving it versus your daughter.
Absolutely.
I can see how things change when you're just relatives. Like, well,
right.
If something's missing or it rattles a little bit, I'm the driver. I'm the guy.
Yeah.
And I can live with that. Whereas when you need it to work seamlessly because it's your daughter,
it was my commuter car. So it's like, if I don't get it done or mess something up, and the car's not available on Monday for me to get to work, now what am I going to do?
Right, there's that too.
Yeah.
Right.
So that was one of my biggest concerns, was like, well, I mean, I can do the work. I mean, I'm not an idiot. I'm not a mechanic, but I can do it.
Right.
But am I going to not fuck something up or be done in time for me to get that car
back up the hill
to work
Monday drive?
And sometimes you don't know.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So that was kind of my concern.
Yeah.
Really. But now it's, if we have to take the car out of commission for, a day or two or whatever, probably no big deal.
You're okay.
Yeah. And I think for, like I said, the heater core, just having somebody else do it.
Right.
Probably worth it for that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So we'll probably end up doing that. But the other stuff I can do myself.
Yeah.
So no big deal. But she's happy. She's got a car she can drive, she can take it to school with her. And I'm happy I have a new car finally. It's been way too long. Been too long. And, with my commute, I kind of beat cars up.
Yeah.
So, there's that too.
So how was that Monday morning? Did you get there a little bit early? Or a whole bunch of early?
No, I wasn't doing that, but I'll just put it this way. That car has no drama. There's no drama happening. When you step on the gas, it fucking moves.
Yeah.
The Civic, on the other hand, I'm
wanted
going
to have
up,
congressional approval.
Yeah, I'm going from whatever our elevation here, 40, to an elevation of about 2,500 feet every day. And some of those are fairly steep hills.
Yeah.
And you go in the Civic and you step on the gas, and it downshifts, but it doesn't make it go any quicker. So you get all the noise and bang, but you don't get any of the movement. Whereas in the Caddy, you step on the gas and that thing, the turbo kicks in, and that MRFer just takes off like a rocket.
Yeah.
In fact, I took a buddy at work on a little ride around the block because he wanted to go out, and I was getting on the Highway 49 off of Dorsey.
Yeah.
And I'm turning to get onto the on-ramp, and I just got on it, and the back end, and I was like, oh, yeah, there it is.
Daddy makes it squeakies.
I got a little bit loose in the back end, and I was like, damn, this thing's, it's impressive.
Go. Nice.
So I'm happy. Can't be happier. Can't be happier. Yeah, I'm stoked. I'll take you for a ride later. As long as you don't have any pants on.
No pants.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the weekend. Kind of got shot by buying a car. Really.
Now we have long weekend. Do you have Friday off?
Oh, yeah.
Do you?
Yes, sir.
I do not.
Oh, brutal.
But 4th of July, Thursday, tomorrow.
Tomorrow is 4th of July.
Right.
Yeah.
Is your brisket out?
No, it'll get pulled out in the morning.
Right. Tomorrow morning.
Yeah, and I'll trim it and then season it and throw it in the smoker as early as I can get it in the smoker, and it'll be on there all day.
When is chow time?
6.
Are you still filming it or taking your footage so that way we can see what happens?
Yeah, so we haven't talked about this, but we have been putting together a video of the process of. So what I'm doing is I'm taking I think it's about a 16-pound Packer brisket is what I bought.
Okay.
I went to our local Roseville meat company, and I bought a 16-pound Packer brisket. So a Packer brisket is the brisket. So when you go to the store and buy a brisket, they have taken a Packer brisket and trimmed it, and they're selling the brisket to you.
Right.
So I have bought a Packer brisket, and I am dry aging it. There's these bags you can buy called Gymmie Dry, and you can put the Packer brisket or the brisket or any beef really in these dry bags, and then you vacuum seal the dry bag, and you put the dry bag just goes in your fridge for however long you want to dry age the beef.
Okay.
So it's been in there since May 22nd or something like that, or 21st. It'll end up being, I think, about 44 days aged when we get it out tomorrow morning.
Okay.
So it'll be dry aged for 44 days. When it comes out of the fridge, you trim all the dry aged stuff off, so everything that's kind of turned real dark, you trim all that off, and you're left with a really nice piece of brisket that's been dry aged.
Okay.
And then you season it like normal and throw it on the smoker. And that's what I'm going to do. So it should be delicious.
How many people are you feeding?
Well,
You're gonna have sandwiches.
There were going to be a couple other people there,
Yeah.
but those people are going to Tahoe. Right.
Oh.
I mean, I'll have enough if you want to come by and try it.
I don't think we have any plans.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to come over and try it, I don't have any problem. We'll have plenty of brisket, let me tell you. Because the girls at my house do not eat beef.
Oh, so you'll have the girls.
They don't eat beef.
But you'll have, it's not just you and Shan. You'll have Melly and
Ian? We have, I think, I'm not sure exactly who else. I don't know if Ian's going to be there or not, but he's also vegetarian.
Oh.
So the meat
Good
eaters
Lord,
are...
You get a whole brisket.
Dude. So myself, my father-in-law, my mother-in-law, and my brother-in-law. So the four of us are not going to kill this giant brisket. But I think after it's all said and done, it'll probably end up being about, after the dry age process and after the trim,
right?
Before it goes in the smoker, it'll be probably around 10 pounds because it kind of shrinks. And
Right.
So, yeah. So anyway, the video part of that is we're producing a video on the process, and then that'll be hopefully a Sad Dad's Club product.
Young man across from us is walking out of his house with his laptop.
Maybe he's downloading episodes as we speak.
As we speak. It's too funny because I'm picturing back in our day when we would do like LAN parties and carry a giant box to each other's house to play Halo or some shit.
Oh, well, I remember riding my bike.
With a computer?
No.
Oh.
No, we didn't have computers. Well, we did. They were called Atari 800 XLs.
Yeah. You want to come over and play Pong with me?
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, or if you were real lucky, you had an Apple IIe.
Yeah.
You know?
Oregon Trail shit.
Yeah, what was it? Larry Bird and...
Cock the wagon and Ford that bitch. Yeah, that's me.
What was the game we used to play? It was Larry Bird versus Magic Johnson.
Magic.
Yeah, we played that like crazy. I used to love that game. Anytime I could get my hands on an Apple IIe that had that software, I would play that game all day.
Yeah, I don't think we had that one. It was Carmen Sandiego and Oregon Trail.
Yeah, what was the dirty game? Larry, remember those?
Leisure Suit Larry?
Leisure Suit Larry. Yeah. It kind of always made me feel dirty. I was like, yeah, I don't know.
You're not a guy. What?
Anyway.
Yeah.
How we doing on time there, Fu?
We're about at the end. Just
Really?
short of an hour.
Oh, okay. Well, I can't wait to take you for a ride in my new rig. After we hang up our headphones here, we'll put the door down and go for a spin.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And we'll come back and clean this shit up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Let's do that.
We can't waste any time.
No. Well, it's still daylight out.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's no fun.
Yeah.
Have you done like Auburn Folsom or something?
No, I did,
193?
I really need to get the...
Sidewall. That's right. Yeah.
That's... I'm taking it easy right now because of that.
That's a good idea.
But I did the 174.
Colfax.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I did that. The problem with the 174 is you always get the fucking...
Hoopties.
Yeah, you get like a fucking cement truck or some shit going up the hill, and you're like, come on, bro.
Don't you realize? I'm going to caddy.
Yeah. I remember once or twice I took Chandler's GTI up there, and I was like, oh, he had I don't know, he'd gotten a set of rims and tires from some guy that he was considering buying.
Yeah.
And the tires were like Michelin Super Sports or Pilots or I don't know what the fuck
stickies.
They were very sticky. And those tires were on the car when I drove it up there. And I'm like, I'm going 174 home. And then I get on there and I'm like behind like a stack of cars behind a truck. And it's just like, dude, come on, bro.
I had one time.
I've got a
one
chipped
shot
GTI here with sticky ass fucking tires, and I'm stuck behind this line of fucking cars doing 20.
Yeah.
Oh, can I get it out of second gear, please? Fuck.
Amgen's gonna come by here and pass us all.
Seriously. Someone on a bike passed me. They didn't, but
we might as well have.
Felt like it. Damn, that's frustrating shit.
I washed the car earlier, and I'd been meaning to like get out for a drive before I decide whether or not I need to put the summer tires on there to get more driving.
Yeah.
But Monday, the dog hater neighbor came over, and
Do you think they're listeners of your show?
I hope so. Because
Hashtag hi haters.
Hashtag you're a dog hating neighbor. She's going to have someone come over and cut the oak tree.
Oh, you talked about that.
Right. So she's going to have someone to can
they come on your property?
But
and
the
do it?
arborist wants to use, apparently, to get at whatever pruning options that she wants for her side that's hanging over. The arborist wants to just get up in the tree since the trunk is in our yard.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay.
Yeah.
But then, so that triggers fucking now I don't want to get shamed by an arborist that's going to come into the backyard and be like, what's all this garbage and bullshit? So the last couple of days I've just been in the fucking back. Like I cleaned the RV and I swept and I washed the pad and I collated and put as much stuff in the garbage can and I made the dump run pile like a little less garbagey.
Yeah.
Clean the kayaks. I'm like, fucking, I ain't having any time to go for a drive. But the backyard looks really nice.
Yeah, that sucks.
Fucking, damn it. Neighbor shame. Fucking dog hater.
Maybe you can send the dogs up there to chew the limbs off.
Maybe.
You know.
So I'm curious to see how much. I feel like I need to get receipt of the dude cutting just in case something happens to the tree. And then I'd be like, we didn't kill it.
Is it the big oak?
Yeah, the big oak.
Oh. Yeah, I think you have to get a special permit to take those out.
See,
if you ever
I
wanna
thought you
remove them.
did too, because I thought all the oaks around here were heritage oaks and
Yeah.
they're protected by the city. So you can. I thought you could prune to a small degree, but it's like when I looked at the branches, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you're cutting that's not going to be major firewood material, not limbs that are, fall off in a heavy wind. These are significant.
Yeah, I would say if it's a heritage oak, then I think pruning it's okay, but to remove it, you would definitely have to have
Right, yeah, we're not removing it,
Yeah.
but like how much of pruning is not going to have a detriment on the thing, relative to what's hanging over the fence. I'm like, well, those are
big branches,
arm length or leg width type of circumferences. Like, is that pruning?
Or some third leg circumference.
Hey.
If you know.
Yeah. That's what I use to press the clutch pedal in my caddy, which I don't have.
I don't have a clutch pedal.
Right. You don't have a third leg then. You don't have a knee.
I used to drive stick.
No.
Anyway. All right. Are we done?
We're done.
Is that it?
That's it.
Jeez. I feel like I'm cheating myself or something.
No, we've ran a little bit. We're good. It's a good show.
Well, I guess we'll wrap it up and say thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. Happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July.
Stay safe. Don't drink responsibly, but do drink.
And don't stick any Roman candles in your ass and light them.
Right. Check out that foo spritzer recipe.
Oh.
Did you try those? Chandler did.
We bought some of the pieces. In fact, last night we bought some Bacardi.
Yeah.
And we got Shan also bought a Bacardi frozen thing.
Yeah.
Maybe we should publish that.
We should. I got ideas there.
Okay.
But I'm also looking for a Mai Tai one.
Maybe.
Ones that you make with rum. A Mai Tai and a Pina Colada.
Okay.
Because we have there's the
I hate
pineapple.
coconut.
There's the pineapple bubbly.
But I was going to say, maybe we can do some videos of you
Yes.
mixing drinks like that chick.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Muddle and then
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean,
3 ounces of bourbon.
Honestly, you're not as pretty as she is.
I don't have as much cleavage either.
If you didn't wear pants, it probably wouldn't matter.
Right.
You know what I mean?
We'd pull all the hose if I wasn't wearing pants.
There you go.
Like, I don't know. That's not the muddler, Mom.
All right.
All righty. Happy 4th of July. We'll catch you next week.
Take it easy.
All right. Bye.